Welcome back, freedom seekers and future embracers. I'm Mark Protus, and today we're exploring something that might sound counterintuitive: how letting go can actually be the key to moving forward. Here's a question that changed my life. What are you holding on to that's holding you back? Maybe it's a fear, a past mistake, an outdated belief, or even a goal that no longer fits who you're becoming. Whatever it is, I want you to know something powerful. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about making space for what's next. In this video, I'll share 5 transformative steps to help you release what no longer is serving you and embrace the opportunities ahead in the new year. Stay with me, because each step builds on the next, creating a pathway to freedom you might not have thought possible. For years, I held onto an image of success that wasn't really mine. I thought success meant climbing the corporate ladder, taking on more responsibility, more stress, more of everything. Even when it stopped feeling right, I kept pushing because I couldn't let go of that definition of achievement. The turning point, it came during a particularly stressful project. I was doing everything right according to my old definition of success, but I felt completely disconnected from my purpose. That's when I realized sometimes our biggest breakthroughs come not from adding more, but from letting go. Letting go of others' expectations, letting go of outdated dreams, letting go of the need to prove something. My journey to this YouTube channel, it started with letting go. Letting go of the belief that impact only happens in the boardroom. Letting go of the fear that I wasn't qualified enough to share my message. And most importantly, letting go of the perfect version of myself I thought I needed to be before I could start. Before we dive into our 5 steps, grab your journal. You'll want to capture these insights. And click the link below to join our supportive community and get additional resources for your letting go journey. Now, let's begin with our first step. As the ancient philosopher Lao Tzu said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Let's discover what you might become. Step 1, name what's weighing you down. Understanding what you're holding on to is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, everything becomes clearer. This isn't just about identifying what to release. It's about understanding why you've been holding on to it in the first place. I remember when I first did this exercise. I listed everything I was carrying: the pressure to maintain a certain image, relationships that had grown distant, and old goals that no longer excited me. Just seeing it on paper was liberating. Your turn. Pause the video and create what I call a freedom inventory. List everything that feels heavy in your life right now. Next to each item, write down why you've been holding on to these. Be honest, this is just for you. Step 2, challenge your grip. Now it's time to question the stories that you've been holding on to. These stories often disguise themselves as truth, when really they're just familiar patterns. When I examined my own story about success, I realized it wasn't even mine. It was a collection of expectations I'd absorbed from others over the years. Once I saw that, I could start writing my own definition. Time for your action. Pause the video and examine one thing from your freedom inventory. Write down the story you've been telling yourself about why you can't let it go. Then write a new story, one that empowers you to move forward. Step 3, create space for release. Letting go isn't a single moment. It's a practice. Like cleaning out a cluttered room. You start in one corner and you work your way through. Here's what worked for me. Instead of trying to completely reinvent myself overnight, I started creating small pockets of change. I take 1 hour each day and explore new interests, or try new approaches, or simply sit with the discomfort of doing things differently. Your turn. Pause the video and choose one area where you can create space today. Maybe it's clearing out your physical space, setting a boundary in a relationship, or taking a break from social media. Write down your commitment and when you'll start. Step 4, embrace the empty space. Here's something profound about letting go. It creates a vacuum that can feel uncomfortable, but that empty space, it's actually fertile ground for new possibilities. I used to fill every moment with activity, every silence with noise, every uncertainty with planning. Have you tried to sit in silence in a team meeting or a group conversation? It's really uncomfortable. So uncomfortable that someone usually breaks the silence so the room can breathe again. For me, learning to sit with empty space was challenging, but it taught me something valuable. Sometimes the best things grow in the gaps we create. Here's your next move. Pause the video and identify one area where you've been rushing to fill empty space. Commit to leaving it alone for 1 week. No fixing, no filling, just observe what emerges. Step 5, practice conscious release. Our final step is about making letting go a conscious choice rather than a last resort. It's about recognizing that release isn't just a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. I developed what I call a release ritual. Every quarter or so, I review what I'm carrying and consciously choose what to keep and what to release. Sometimes it's as simple as deleting old files, and sometimes it's as profound as releasing an old dream to make space for a new one. Let's make this real. Pause the video one last time and design your own release ritual. How will you regularly check in with yourself? How will you celebrate what you're letting go of? Write it down and schedule your first ritual. Picture yourself at the end of the year. You're lighter, freer, and more aligned with your true path. Not because you achieved everything perfectly, but because you had the courage to let go of what was holding you back. Here's a powerful truth from Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh. People have a hard time letting go of their suffering. Out of a fear of the unknown, they prefer suffering that which is familiar. Today, you're choosing something different. You're choosing growth. Ready to start a journey of letting go? Click on the link in the description below and join our community of freedom seekers who are learning to release the old and embrace the new. And remember, you've got this.